This is Don's brother Bob, and we'll get him to say a few words.
Very touching and very emotional for me to see these cars together. You guys did an awesome job. The whole history of Don coming here and Don wanting to see his cars displayed could not have really turned out any better. And all of you for coming here today to witness this event as our friends. Donald would have liked nothing less. It's really cool. He was my best friend. He was really one of the good guys. His story in life was do the best you can and everything you can do. Set the bar high for your dreams and go for your dreams in all regards. His special words to me and his friends and family, you probably all heard many, many times, was if you want something in life, go for it. We spoke many, many times and hours on the phone. As I said, he was my best friend. We did many things together in life. He was very bold in getting things that he wanted. It's represented by these cars here. He loved to do many, many things. He loved his friends. He loved, most of all, having fun. Whatever he could do to make the best of life, he did that. So even though we lost him early, that was hard. But I have wonderful memories, as we all do. And every one of you, I'm sure, have been with him and shared in those great memories, and keep those thoughts. These cars represent his passion. It's an awesome collection. We discussed in the phone many, many times when he bought every one of the cars. I know it's pretty much the history of most of them. This yellow one, I tried to talk to him many, many, many times to sell me that car, but he would never give it up. And luckily he did, because it's a very fitting place. The white one over there, we bought, we were in Florida right before he passed away. I told many of this story already. The last time we were together in Florida, we went to a Chevy dealer. They had the 427, they had the convertible, and they had the coupe. It was a beautiful display of cars. We looked at them, we looked at each other, and he says, let's get them. So they said, I'll buy one if you buy one. It was a very touching moment. I'll never forget to be at that time with him. We bought the cars together, and I'm very proud to have driven it here today, although I know he would be upset if he saw how dirty it is right now. His thing was always to keep it together. But in summary, take away from this and take away from the story. If you have a goal and a dream in your life, go for it. Don't hold back. Life is really short. And again, my appreciation to the staff, and please extend to all the members of your staff all the hard work and appreciation from the family and our friends to make this display and this dream possible.
I'd like to welcome all of you as we open the Messner Collection exhibit here today. I also want to thank all of you for making the trek to Bowling Green to pay tribute to a legend. I want to extend my appreciation to Wendell and his staff. You've been wonderful. I mean, they asked for something, you had it. I'm sure that in the past few weeks I haven't been the easiest person to work with, but your staff stepped up to the plate, and it was a pleasure to work with them as we planned and coordinated the events here this past weekend. I also want to extend a special thank you to my family. I'm sure that they're not Corvette enthusiasts, but they're here today. Don Messner touched our hearts, and he became part of our family, and that's what it's all about. It's all about family. So your unconditional love, your unending support have given me strength to withstand this journey. I also want to thank a special group of people. It's the Susquehanna Valley Corvette Club. I believe Al Claps invited Don to a meeting. We attended. You welcomed us, you included us, and we became part of your Corvette family. And on May 31st, 2013, as I sat in a church pew, probably in shock and trying to convince myself that I could get through this, a friend brought a cell phone up to me, showed me a picture and said, "Do you think Don's friends are here?" It was a picture of a parking lot full of Corvettes. It was the Susquehanna Valley Corvette Club. And here you are today. So your support has been overwhelming. It amazes me. And I'm honored to be a part of the Susquehanna Valley Corvette Club. So thank you. When Don and I realized that the melanoma was more advanced than what we ever anticipated or wanted to learn, he started asking questions. And it wasn't questions about the disease. It was questions about what he was going to do with his toys, what he was going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do with my cars, what am I going to do with my dad's car, what am I going to do? And he contemplated building his own museum, but that raised many more questions. You know, who was going to oversee it? Who was going to take care of the cars? Who was going to ensure that it was sustained in the future? I think once again he turned to Al. Al suggested the National Corvette Museum. Don called Wendell. We were on a flight and we were visiting the museum. Here again, we were welcomed. We were embraced and we became members of yet a larger Corvette family. And throughout these conversations, we heard many times, I want to plant a seed. I want to plant a seed and I want to watch it grow. And he would say, Marlene, I want to leave a legacy. He wanted his collection to remain intact. He did not want to see it sold off one by one. He wanted it to stay intact and he wanted to see other people enjoy it. He wanted to inspire. He wanted to inspire other people, other Corvette enthusiasts with rare Corvettes to consider doing the same, whether it be the gifting of Corvettes or the financial gifting. He also wanted to inspire little guys like my nephew, to see what another little guy could do if he had a dream, if he had a vision, and if he was willing to work hard. This year was my 35th year class reunion. Somehow I got nominated, volunteered to update the class list. I communicated with classmates I haven't talked to in 35 years. One classmate responded, thanked me for finding him, updated me on his life, his career, where he was, his children, grandchildren, and he said, I see you got married. I thought about not responding because obviously you all know my story doesn't have a happy ending. But something told me, reply to him. So I did. Told him that yes, at almost 50, I found the man of my dreams. And in 3 short years, he was gone. I told him that I was involved with melanoma research and that the slogan, and I'm going to tell it to you all, get naked, go for that skin check. He got back to me and he said, Marlene, he said, I've read your email 5 or 6 times while having coffee on my deck this morning. And he said, well, God has different plans and it's hard to accept. He said that there's a reason. And he said, as he sat on his deck drinking his coffee, he watched bees fly by. And he said, we're kind of like the bees. They go from flower to flower, and they pick up pollen, and they deposit it a little bit on the next flower, and so on and so forth. And he said, Marlene, that's what happens with us. When we lose a loved one, and one that's touched us so deeply, we have a part of that person that stays with us forever, and we pass it on. I can tell you that Don Messner is with me in my heart, in my head, every day, and just about everything I do. I'm sure that sometimes when I stop at the cemetery to chat. Here's the Beamer coming in, and he goes, oh no, here she comes again. But he's with me all the time. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for him. He was kind, caring, giving, and I definitely would not be as kind, caring, and giving if it wasn't for him. I would not be involved in melanoma research, the fight against melanoma, and wanting to help others afflicted with the disease if it wasn't for Don Messner. I definitely would not be as strong as I am today if it wasn't for him. He made me realize I had a strength in me that I didn't know. And I definitely would not be standing here today at the National Corvette Museum owning a Corvette of my own that I'm afraid to drive if it wasn't for Don Messner. So he wanted to plant a seed. He definitely planted one in me. And hopefully I can pass it on and he can watch it grow. Likewise, he wanted to inspire. He wanted to inspire other Corvette enthusiasts, other people. And as I helped with the setup Wednesday and Thursday, and I heard people ooh and ah as they came out of the sinkhole. I heard little guys like my nephew go, that's my favorite, that's my favorite. And that was that's exactly what Don Messner would have wanted. He wanted to inspire. Within the next few weeks, there's going to be thousands of Corvette enthusiasts transcend on the National Corvette Museum for their 20th anniversary celebration. I'm sure that there will be a lot of oohs and ahs, and hopefully the seed that he planted will take root and it will grow, and he will inspire. He will inspire future generations. So I thank all of you.
On behalf of the National Corvette Museum Board of Directors, our staff, and our 30-some thousand members, we thank you, and we will do everything we can to help continue Don's legacy, help his legacy continue to inspire other folks. So again, we want to just say thank you and do our best to make you very, very proud and proud. I happened to see this yesterday, and I thought how fitting it might be for this. And it's death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. So Don's memory will be with all of us as long as we will be here to serve. So again, we thank you for coming, and thank you, Marlene and Bob.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.